Good morning, everyone. So today I want to talk a little bit about condescending. That's the word I want to use. Because a while back ago, I was a driver for a company. I was a subcontractor. And I was having problems with my application, so I had to go into their office and get everything taken care of. And so when I was getting that done, this man walks in out of nowhere and he's apologizing in front of me to another person in the office. Oh, I'm sorry I was late, but he didn't call or anything. He just showed up late. So I right away thought, and I said to the other guy, I'd be careful about that. I mean, that becomes a habit, you know what I mean? And they're not reliable. And so right away I judged that person, right? Without even getting to know him. So I would go to the office off and on because I kept getting routed to this house that was, nobody was living in it. You can clearly see it was abandoned and had a dog in the yard. So I went in this last time to report that house again to get it off of the routes because it was a waste of time and gas, So that man approached me, the one that was late that day, and he asked me what I was there for, and I was like, well, I just want to, take care of some things, and then, but I wanted to work with the other guy. He goes, well, he's with somebody. And I was like, that's okay, I'll wait. I've waited before. It's no problem. So he's standing there staring at me like, I just got out of the shower. He's standing there staring at me. Just standing there for like 5 minutes. He was starting to creep me out. And he asked me again why I wouldn't work with him. And I said, because I don't want to. I don't have to talk to you. I'm a subcontractor. I'm coming here to take care of my business. I'll wait for the person I want to sit with because I felt more comfortable with him. And the guy's still standing there just staring at me. So I turned around to go sit down to wait. And he said, no, I'm going to help you whether you like it or not. And I says, well, it's okay if I use the bathroom. And so he let me use the bathroom and he ran to his office. And I'm like, wait, don't I have a right to say I don't want to work with somebody? And he was standing there staring at me. He was creeping me out. I think he was contemplating, like, should I hit her? Should I just keep staring her down like that's going to work? So I went to the bathroom and I left. I went out the doors and he was following me with a laptop. And he asked me again with his laptop on. He was recording me, which we're not allowed to do. We're not allowed to record anybody because of HIPAA rights. And I have a disability. And he doesn't have a right to record me without my knowledge. But he did anyway, he recorded me. He goes, I'm going to ask you again why you don't want to work with me. I said, I don't want to work with you. You make me feel icky. I don't like the way I don't feel you're a reliable person to be helping me because you're not accepting what I said and you're not complying. You're trying to force me to work with you. And I didn't feel comfortable working with you because he wasn't very outgoing or anything like that. But I was still thinking about how he was unreliable because he came in late. And he's telling his coworker in front of everybody. And that's not professional either. And he didn't even call. He could say, hey dude, I'm on my way. He didn't do anything. So, but that's not my place. It's really none of my business either. But he made it my business when he came and said it in front of me, right? So he said to me, I'm going to suspend your account for condescending behavior. So let me tell you what the definition is. So having or showing a feeling of patronizing superiority. So it says in the dictionary on Google, she thought the teachers were arrogant and condescending. So I do owe an apology for judging him. But just because he has that power of authority doesn't give him the right to force someone to do something they don't want to do, right? So because he didn't get his way, he enforced his title, and he suspended my account, which is fine, right? So you can do everything you want. So I get flying flood, and I didn't care at the time either. So in this last work that I did, at least he came and spoke to me, right? But they didn't. When they wrote me up, it was a week later, and they changed their employee handbook. And before I can get my pay stub to print it, they forced me to acknowledge that I got it through ADP. But I didn't get a chance to read it, and it didn't fully download on my system because they knew I read their handbook 3 times because I was looking for their ethics. Because, every company has a code, right? An ethics code. They had one, but it wasn't real clear in their manual. So I asked them for a copy of their ethics, their code of ethics. And I found it in their training videos, which I thought was mind-blowing. But they didn't come to me ever and talk to me about any problems they had with me, right? None. But they really wanted me out of that lunchroom because they knew I saw everything they were doing. And they even tried to get it from me, all my information. And they were telling me the company didn't care about me and they weren't going to help me. Well, they were right about that. They didn't, because I don't think they knew what was going on. I think these people were working with each other. It was a big group. And they were all in on it, every single one of them. So they'd file a report with them, and then they would investigate. But they didn't do any investigating. No, they went and told on you with the supervisor because they were having coffee and tea with them, lunches, you name it. They were in their pockets like no tomorrow. I don't know what was promised to all these people that participated in getting rid of me. I just don't know. But I want to get back to this supervisor here. So I'm going to go in and see him next day or so. And I'm going to apologize to him for judging him. But I will let him know that just because you sit in a power of authority doesn't give you the right to hurt people. I understand why he did it, because he was an authority. He could do whatever he wanted. And that's what this company did, without reason. And they made up their reasons. They clearly made them up. And also, too, this guy did it right away, just like they did, instead of, writing me up for it or giving me a warning or something. No, they took their power of authority. Boom! You're fired. I'm going to suspend your account until you learn how to recognize me as your supervisor. I'm subcontracted on the first job. And the second one, I worked under people who didn't even have the common sense to talk about anything. Because they knew they had nothing on me. They lied on their papers. When they gave me their stupid write-ups, there were 2 separate supervisors with the one who was writing me up, claiming all that shit. And you know what they did? They took off that second signature because I think that person was not a resident of the United States of America. And that was the one who was going around telling people, do this, do this. She wouldn't even pick up a mop. When she had to pass me a basket, dude, she was like this with it to hand it to me. She couldn't believe she had to pick up laundry. She was so privileged, bro. I don't even know how she got the job. I don't even know how she got in there. But, everybody has their friends, right? It was crazy, though. That was kind of odd. But, hey, we don't want to pass judgment, right? How's it feel to be judged, bro? I understand where I went wrong, and I'm going to go make that right. But let's see how he handles himself tomorrow. Should I record his responses, see how he likes it, without his knowledge, and then post them all over who knows what? It doesn't matter if it's on a phone or if it's on a computer. You need to let people know. If we're not allowed to carry our phones, but you're allowed as a supervisor to have your phone, and you text all these different supervisors, what's she doing? Where is she? I can't find her, and then you send your little people out looking for me, and then they go back and report to the other supervisor. You don't have a right to stalk anybody at work. If we're not allowed to do that, why should you be allowed? Because you're an authority? Because you think you can? Why don't you get off your butt and look for them yourself? I had a morning. Well, she wasn't my supervisor, but she was really nice. I would come in every day and put my lunch pail in the refrigerator in the lunchroom. And her and I would talk. Hey, how you doing? You know, she was really nice and polite to me all the time. And she saw one of her employees. He saw I opened the door and my hands are full, and he went inside of me. He went first instead of holding the door for me so I can go in. And she saw it, and she was like, I'm gonna have a talk with him about that. It really blew her mind that he was not even thinking about anybody but himself. And I really liked that about her. So 2 days before I was fired, I saw her, and I saw that supervisor who was talking smack to the different departments was talking in her face about me. And she didn't say hello to me. Every day I came in, that supervisor was in her face talking about me. She would just look at me and then look away. And I thought that supervisor thought for herself. I guess she doesn't. She didn't know me either. And judge me. You know? There's like that supervisor from another, from the other company that was a subcontractor. I mean, he judged me too. Right away, he suspended my account instead of like, okay, why is she being like that? Maybe she has something going on in her day. Maybe I'd make her feel uncomfortable. You know, I mean, he didn't think about other things other than wanting to be right, just like her. But she had to be right about that supervisor because I wasn't doing anything wrong. You know, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Doing my job. Just like with that one, I was doing my job. Just came in to clear up something, that's all. No, you have to work with me, and that's all. That's all it is, period. And he used that word, condescending. And I didn't think I was better than him. He made me feel uncomfortable. And he's sitting there staring at me, which made me even more uncomfortable. But then I get this whole room full of people are just staring at me. I was really uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But I dealt with it every day. It didn't matter. I need to pay my bills. You know? It is what it is. You think, and the funny part is, you thought that would make me weak, but it didn't make me weak. It made me stronger. It made me want to fight harder. And I came back every day. I didn't do anything wrong.